Pro-Russian protests are causing a lot of uproar. Russian-born political scientist Sergei Medvedev blames Russian propaganda on ZDF. Sergei Medvedev was born in Russia and is a political scientist in Germany. He described the pro-Russian protests and motorcades in Berlin in the ZDF morning show as unacceptable. In his view, individuals are behind the demonstrations. Often these are people who have lived in Germany for decades. They took to the streets against Russophobia, i.e., against discrimination against Russian people. Propaganda on Russian TV. The political scientist cites the propaganda of Russian television as the main reason for such protests. Many Russian speakers in Germany still watch news from Russian television, says Sergei Medvedev. And we know this is pure propaganda. The information disseminated would deliberately create a mood against German and European politics. Russian news reported that Russians were being attacked, disadvantaged and discriminated against abroad. That leads to the protests, says Medvedev. Of course there are racists in Germany too, and one cannot rule out individual cases. But the political scientist cannot confirm Russophobia, the discrimination and oppression of Russians in Germany. But it is the propaganda that the Kremlin has been spreading for years, increasingly against Germany since the beginning of the war. As a political scientist and native Russian, I can tell you that nowhere in the world are Russians so disadvantaged and treated so unfairly as in Russia itself. The academic calls the current situation a disaster, not only for Ukrainians, but also for Russia and for all of Europe. It is the second war that his homeland is waging against Ukraine. The first was in eastern Ukraine in 2014, and even then the propaganda on Russian television led to conflicts, not only professionally but also privately. And since then I've had trouble talking to some friends and relatives about the war and about Putin's policies. But that takes patience and a bit of time.